Yeah, but you're okay. Those things never get in your way. And I've been down this road so many times before.
Hello, my name is Jim Petroutsos and I'm here to present Sound and Vision for SMB TV. So far, thank you for all the feedback and all the comments, mostly my immediate family and friends. I really enjoy getting professional notes on my performance from my friends. Please keep that coming, that's always fun. But no, seriously, I'm really enjoying this and all the comments and feedbacks are welcome. And as you see, I've stepped up my game. I now have a backdrop and it's becoming very official. So thanks to Megan for lending me the backdrop. And also thanks to Bert, my dear friend, telling me not to be too close and cropped up because apparently that's too intense, I think. Anyway, so here I am in the new studio and going to present Sound and Vision for you this month. This week we're just focusing on the music part of Sound and Vision, and I assure you it has nothing to do with the lovely holiday I just got back from, and also my editor's busy schedule this month. So this month we're doing a Fast and Furious music part, or the listen segment of Sound and Vision. So buckle up and here we go. Welcome to the listening segment. For my first recommendation, I'm going to go to an album, a brand new album, released by Olivia Rodrigo. And the album is called Sour, and it is causing an absolute hullabaloo on the charts across the world. So it's number one in most countries at the moment. And definitely I've jumped on the bandwagon and I wanted to know what the hysteria was about. So I've had a good listen this month and it definitely lives up to its hype. Olivia found her fame doing some Disney shows prior to this album's release. So this is where she's found her global musical fame, but prior to this she was a Disney starlet. As I mentioned, the album is number one across most countries at the moment as I'm taping this, and it's a fantastic mix between the angsty pop of Kelly Clarkson and I suppose the mood swings of Billie Eilish, the mood of Lord and the songwriting of Taylor Swift. So if any of those four pop princesses or pop divas tickle your fancy, then you'll love this album as well. Olivia wrote on all of the tracks on this album with her co-producer Daniel Negro. However, one of the songs she also co-wrote with Taylor Swift, which according to her was a career highlight. It's your first album, so I'm sure you'll have a few more career highlights, not to worry. Even though at the moment Billie Eilish is the queen of pop and Pink just released her long anticipated new album, I think 2021 will be Olivia's year. She's ready to take that crown, and the album is just such a great mix of rock, pop, a lot of angst, but really well done, and just the songwriting is so strong. Definitely give it a listen. The next album I'm going to recommend is by a band called Wolf Alice, a UK band, and their new album, Blue Weekend. The band started in 2010 as a duo, but now is a four-piece band, and this album, as we speak, is number one in the UK. The album is a burst of alternative cool tracks. It's a great sing out loud kind of album, so if you have it in your car, expect to be singing in the traffic. It's a little bit angsty, a bit pop, a lot of alternative guitar. It's gritty and beautiful at the same time, and if you have some extra emotional energy to release, definitely listen to this album. When I first heard this album, I definitely thought of the folk Swedish duo band First Aid Kit, but with heavier guitars and some serious drums. So it's got that folk kick to it, but with a lot of oomph. Give it a listen, but play it loud. I've got one recommendation just before the Fast Five, and this one is an actual playlist and podcast. The playlist and podcast is by Simon Le Bon of the band Duran Duran, and he does a podcast called Whoosh. So that's WHOOOSH! This is a great insight into the mind and musical taste of what I consider one of the music greats, Simon Le Bon. Simon started this podcast during last year's pandemic lockdown, and with his thirst for new and interesting music, he wanted to showcase what was out there and started a weekly podcast called Whoosh. On Spotify, which I'll leave the link down in the comments below, he actually has a playlist with all the music recommendation. And it is a very eclectic mix from rap, hip hop, reggae, to some French pop, some dance music. It goes all over the place, but that's what makes this playlist really enjoyable. And speaking of Duran Duran, if you've recently watched the trailer for the Netflix show or brand new show, Sweet Tooth, you'll notice that in the trailer, they are using a cinematic cover version of Duran Duran's 1992 Ordinary World. It's beautiful and done really well and fits perfectly with the new Sweet Tooth TV show trailer. Have a watch. Okay, and now up to everyone's favourite, today's music Quick 5. The most anticipated music release, well, for me, it would be the brand new Duran Duran single called Invisible. It was released a few weeks ago. The first single, taken from the Future Past album, which is out in October, showcases Simon Le Bon's amazing vocals, his unique sense of harmonies and melody. The song has razor-sharp production with amazing vocals and abstract pop lyrics, which makes for a perfect Duran Duran song. And considering they've been going for 40 years, this still sounds as fresh and new as their first tracks. Give it a listen and have a look out for the new album, Future Past, released this October. Number 4 is anticipated music doco release, and this one goes to Aha, the movie, that's the title, of the doco. Now, I just found out about this and I'm very excited. It was premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival a couple of days ago, mid-June, and should be up for general release within the next coming weeks. Now, for most of the general public, Aha would be the one-hit wonders that went to number 1 all around the world with that amazing song Take On Me and that fantastic video clip and iconic synth hook. That's to most people, but if you lived in Europe, especially mid to northern Europe, you would know that they've had a stellar career. They did the James Bond track, The Living Daylights as well, but yeah, their success has been mostly in Europe and South America, believe it or not. So they've continued to grow and have had some amazing albums, and this doco shows, I suppose, the lifespan of the band over the last 35 years. So I can't wait for that. It's called Aha, the movie. Number 3 is what I'm reading, or what I've just read. And this is, I've got the book right here, actually. Sweet Dreams, oh, hold on. What do? They put their hand behind it? No. This is Sweet Dreams by Dylan Jones. Yes. It is I suppose, rise and fall of the new romantic scene, and it takes the UK music scene from 1975 to 1985. So you've got a decade there of the music from the UK growing from, I suppose, the progressive rock and very rock and classic music of the mid-70s, moving it into punk and then into new romantic, and then straight out into like synth bands and synth pop that came around the mid-80s as well. So it's an amazing trajectory of that time. If you're a big fan, and I am, as you probably can tell, it's a great read. Also to find out that the punk movement and the new romantic movement grew from the same scene and the same locations throughout the UK. So have a read. It definitely goes deep. It's a deep groove into that era. But if you are a fan of new romantic and that time in the UK scene, definitely worth the read. Okay, number 2 is my YouTube music hole. And if you're anything like me, I get into YouTube holes, and hours later I forget time and where I am, and yes, Anyway, so my recent YouTube haul is with a gentleman called Rick Beato, and he's a music, would I say genius? And he's a highly skilled musician, and he has a YouTube channel with over 2 million subscribers about music theory and music appreciation. I'm a huge music lover, as you may be aware, and I pride myself on how much I love music, but when it comes to musical theory, I know nothing. And when I listen to Rick, I feel like I know even less. But his videos on music appreciation are so insightful and really well presented, even for the novice like me. Also, he has a series of videos called What Makes This Song So Great? And the first one I ever saw was his review on Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer, and it breaks down the song, breaks down the production, the lyrics, and the performance, and they're fantastic. Whether you're a big fan of the song or not, just understanding the structures of songs and his skill level and his knowledge is just so endearing and interesting. So definitely have a look at Rick Beato and check out his What Makes This Song Great. I really also enjoyed his Kelly Clarkson video as well. Check it out. And my number 1 Fast 5 is albums to revisit, and this one is a sentimental favorite of mine. It's by a band named Keen, and the album is Hopes and Fears. It was released in 2004 and was a mega hit in the UK. Didn't do so well here, the album. It went to 45 here. This was their debut album, and it went again, as I mentioned, to number 1 in the UK. This was released in 2004 and earned them the Best Rock Album at the Brit Awards the year after that. Tom Chaplin has amazing vocals that both are earnest and dramatic without being too over the top. He's got this restraint when he needs to, but definitely lets it rip when he has to. So it's just a very emotive album. It's like Britpop light or post-Britpop, as some journalists have noted. It's a great lazy Sunday afternoon album with a little bit of grit and a lot of emotion. Have a listen, let me know what you think. And that was the Music Fast 5. So below I have a link to a playlist that has all the recommended music in today's episode. And that is it for this month. Thank you for joining me on Sound and Vision. Well, this month was just sound, but I'm sure you got some great recommendations. Please leave your comments, suggestions. Do you want me to review something? Have I missed something important? You let me know and I'll have a read. Thanks, Mum. Thanks for sending in the messages. And I'll see you next month. Thanks, guys.